Hi everyone, today we will be introducing our new garage light release. It's kind of similar design and kind of similar applications to our previous garage light, and even the wattage is they're both 60 watts. However, this one actually has an infrared kind of built-in sensor as well. So it does have two main functions in comparison to the previous model that just has one kind of on and off switch. So we'll just unpackage it and then we'll kind of talk about some of the specifications and the applications of the light, and then we'll kind of plug it in here and you can see how it works and kind of some of the different uses it will have as well. So as you can see, once you've kind of unpackaged it, it does look very similar to our kind of previous design of the 60 watt wing garage light. So as you can see here, there's kind of 4 wings. They spread out, they cover about kind of 1 meter square or kind of 1 square foot in kind of wingspan. However, kind of with the amount of light that comes out of it, there is kind of a significant amount of light and illumination coming from the beam itself. So it would be around kind of 5,000 or 6,000 lumens from 60 watts. So it's about 100 watt per lumen. So this is kind of very highly efficient LED light, and it's kind of very applicable for garages, barns, or kind of any indoor large space application. So they have been known to be used in kind of warehouses, obviously barns and these kind of types of places as well, as they do have a very bright beam, and it does come out at 5,000K. So 5,000K itself is very close to natural daylight. So when you're indoors, the light itself will seem very bright, very strong, especially to your eyes if it is directly pointed towards it. So a light beam coming out at kind of 6,000 lumens at 5,000K is going to light up kind of a very large area that was struggling with darkness before. So you can use them in very large spaces. They can be kind of lined up in rows as well. You can kind of line them up across a whole warehouse space if you do need to. And you kind of just use 1 or 2 in the garage as well. So they're kind of very applicable for indoor large spaces or mediums, kind of medium scale places as well in terms of workshops or garages. And it's very good light to work under as well. So people do apply these in different ways and different kind of places and kind of different applications as well. So mainly they're used for working under in terms of workshops, garages. If you do kind of work underneath, if you do need a kind of garage work light or a workshop work light, these are ideal as well. And if you just need kind of a light that's going to light up a very bright, kind of very large area with bright light in the middle of the night, or once it starts to get dark or kind of dusk time, these are very applicable as well. So what actually differentiates this light from the previous design is the infrared sensor on the bottom of the light now that we finally kind of installed here. So in terms of the light performance and the lighting application and the light distribution, is all the same as the previous light. It just has kind of a different function. So it does have 2 different functions as opposed to the previous that just had 1 function. So what does the infrared sensor do? It kind of has 2 kind of basic functions. Obviously it works as a motion sensor. So if you have the light kind of hung up in your garage or kind of above your workstation, and you're not actually in the building itself or kind of around it, it won't actually be kind of illuminating the area so kind of highly. So once you set it into the function of kind of dimmer lighting, and it will be responsive to a kind of motion sense. So once it's kind of not really being used as a task light, it is dimmer, and it's kind of 20% dimmer than it is as a regular light. So once you move underneath the light itself, it will illuminate to the full 6,000 lumens. But with the kind of 20% reduction when you haven't set off the motion sensor itself. So is the motion sensor very sensitive? Yes, it is a PIR sensor, so it will kind of sense any movement or kind of any heat being transferred underneath it. So with these kind of motion sensors, you just need to watch out for any direct light sources or any kind of area where the heat would change kind of consistently, as these could kind of interact and maybe cause false triggers or kind of cause the motion sensor to sense things aren't there. So just try and keep a direct light source away from the motion sensor. And maybe keep it away from air conditioning units or kind of fans, etc., as these kind of play around with the motion sensors as well. So it is very similar to our security light motion sensor, so they do have the same kind of warnings as well. So just keep them away from heat kind of areas near kind of air conditioning units or kind of direct light sources, as it is a PIR sensor that may kind of cause false triggers or the light to kind of go full brightness when it doesn't really need to do that. So we'll just kind of go through some of the basic specifications and then we'll kind of plug it in and show you how it looks and how it reacts as well to kind of the normal and how it looks as well, and just reacts to kind of general use. So it's 5000 K, so this is a daylight beam we kind of spoke about before, and it's 6000 lumens, which is actually very bright. Once you kind of plug the light in, you will be able to see. While I kind of plug it in, it might just kind of block me totally out of the video as it is kind of very bright and daylight beam. So you will be able to get a general idea of how bright the light is, but actually kind of in real life it is actually far brighter than it does look on the kind of through the video or on the phone as well. So they are very bright. So you do need to kind of watch out as well when you initially buy one or switch one on. They will be very strong for your eyes as well. So it's just something to look out for. But kind of you are buying it for the brightness as well. So just remember that they are very bright, they are very powerful, and they are kind of generally used for kind of large indoor areas as well. As you can see, when I'm just kind of twisting the light in, this is kind of the most basic way, the simplest way to install the light. It's just an E26 screw in. So you just need to screw the light into the general fixture and just twist it. So it's like a twist and go kind of light. Most fixtures around the home in the US are actually kind of E26 based or fixtures. So you can just kind of screw it in anywhere around the home or in the garage. We'll just kind of switch it on here, and you can get a better look of how the light looks once it's kind of turned on. You can see how bright it is. I will kind of point it away from me as it is very bright. And then you can kind of see how, you get a general idea of how bright it is, but maybe you kind of won't be able to pick up how bright it really is when it's on. As you can see here, the light itself, I'll just kind of flick one wing up just so you get a better idea of how it really looks and how kind of adaptable or customizable the wings are. They do go up at kind of a 90-degree angle vertically, and they kind of go flat down here. So as a garage light, this is very applicable and useful kind of for working under, or if you just want to kind of direct the light somewhere else in the home. I'll just kind of turn two wings up briefly. So there is like, all four of them go up and down. This is kind of the other mode, the function that it does work under, because I was kind of messing with the motion sensor there. So as you kind of turn it on and don't obstruct the motion sensor, the light will stay on in kind of full working mode there. So when you do play around with the motion sensor, obviously it will begin to kind of react. So that just kind of briefly showed the how the light works and the second various function of the light. There is kind of multiple ways to get the light to work in the second function. You just need to switch the light on and then off for 5 seconds, and then switch it back on, and then wait 30 seconds, and the light will actually kind of set itself back into like a dimmer mode, as it's kind of flashing there now as well. So it just kind of sets itself into various modes. As long as if you keep turning it off and then switching it on, it does begin to react and then start going back into the kind of less bright mode. So this is the full brightness here, as you can see, and I'll just switch it off now because it's kind of like a little bit too bright for the video as well. So this light itself, as it's a new release, it is actually in our Olympic giveaway. It's just kind of for any entrances from the US, and they're 18 years and above as well. So this is a brand new release. It's a new product, nobody else has it yet. So obviously it's just kind of being directly outwards for our kind of Olympic giveaway, and kind of any of our fans on the Facebook page or commenting and entering the giveaway for the Olympic giveaway from next week, next Monday, stand the chance of kind of winning this 60 watt kind of infrared sensory garage light.